And when you look back on your short career, it's still short, it's still in its infancy. But what performance stands out for you?
Um, there's been a couple that have stuck with me. They mean a lot to me for different reasons. Um, One of my biggest ones was probably against the Knights for Titans. I wrote an exam in the morning. It was day three. I woke up at 6:30, got to the head of department's office, wrote my exam, then went through to the ground, bowled. We got bowled out. Bowled. We bowled him out, and then we were put into bat. And I ended up batting as well, and I scored my high score. I got like 75 or something. And I remember walking off the field thinking, Jeepers, I'm quite proud of what's happened today. I mean, wrote an exam, bowled pretty nasty, got my high score. I think that will always stick with me. I think that was quite a cool day. Um, and then another performance that stands out was probably my first fifer against Western Province um, at Newlands. And yeah, that was really special in the one day stuff. First time I tried the around the wicket tactic, the Yorkers, and it went to plan. So I was really chuffed with that. And then my first fifer for the Warriors in Maritzburg with my family around was something I won't forget. Obviously, growing up in KZN, it's really cool to play there at the Oval and to do well and to help us get in a better position was amazing. Having my dad there, my grandpa, aunts, uncles, family, friends, they were all around coming to support. Definitely making the most noise. The 4-day stuff isn't the most popular in South Africa, so I was getting a lot of chirps about the Boast corner. But as I said, that support structure that I have is is unreal. So it was really special to have them there. I think those are the three performances that I won't forget.
Mm. And who is the most difficult batter that you have had to face?
Um, Bowling too. I there's been there's been a couple. There's some really big names. I think the most useless sounds weird, but the most useless that I've ever felt against a batter was probably that day against Jacob Bethel.
Mhm.
And second was under 19 trials against Brevi. He was just on another level. I think when you bowl to him, you get a little bit nervous. You're thinking, "Jeepers, where could this thing go?" But then in terms of domestic, I remember bowling to Reza um, at Supersport Park, and he flicked me for six. It was just like Jeepers. Okay, you can see why this guy's played for the Proteas for so long. I remember feeling like this. Yeah, he's proper. So I think those are probably the oaks that stand out the most. But yeah,
And I won't ask for one. I think because you've played quite a bit, you will have maybe two or three or four. I don't know, but the best bowling partners you have had.
yeah, that's a tough one. I've had a lot of bowling partners. I think I've had a really good start with Doozy now. We just work really well. He's obviously Mr. Consistent, and just makes my life so easy. I mean, half the time I come onto bowl and there's just been a maiden, which makes it a lot easier for me. And then over the years there's been a couple. I think at Tux, Merrick Brett and I worked quite nicely in tandem. There was a lot of times when I would bowl and Skulk was on the other side, and he would dot them up, whatever. And then I'd be attacking, I'd dot them up, and then he would get the wickets. It's There's been a whole bunch of bowling partners, but I think one that stands out. I'm not just saying it now that I'm at the Warriors, but Doozy has been an awesome partner to have on the other side.
Mhm. One of my
Yeah.
favorite questions is always the shirt numbers because different people, different reasons. For some, it's just a number they've stuck with from early doors, but
Yeah.
for for others, there's a bit of a meaning there. What's the story with yours?
So I was number four originally, and Aidan Markham was for Titans, so I had to change that. I mean, I'm not going to really ask him to change his number for me. And so I went to 44 just because 4-4, and then now I've gone to 8 just because I don't think a lot of guys use it, and I was always a big fan of Dale Steyn, obviously. And 8, 4 times 2 is 8. I'm born on the 4th of February. I played lock. I was number 4. I've got 4 people in my immediate family. Like 4's always been my number. So I just went 4 times 2 is 8. So that's why I've gone with 8, and it's pretty nice that Dale also had that number. But yeah, I guess that's the story.
One of the things that I like to talk about is routines. Like I I believe in routines personally because I stick to certain routines myself. Do you have routines on match day or practice that just help
I
you to
do.
get into the state? Yeah, and how does it work for you?
Yeah, so I definitely do. I mean, I'm not like too superstitious or anything. I wouldn't call them superstitions, but a small thing. I have to be clean shaved. That's part of my routine. I have to, the appearance is quite important when it comes to the games and stuff like that. Every game I have to listen to Hall of Fame um, before every match. I used to listen to Hall of Fame. It was a thing that my brother, myself, and my dad used to play on the way to prep school matches, and it's just stayed with us since then. Um, but then in terms of physical routines, I was quite I was in a big routine now in the 4-day stuff. I would make a peanut butter, banana, berry, and oat smoothie every morning. That's my breakfast. Get to the game, have my AirPods in, listen to the Hall of Fame, hand in my phone, and yeah, go down. And yeah, I think from there, like warm up, I've got my own set of routines that I do that gets me into the mode. And I try to follow that routine before we do the team warm up, and then yeah, from then on, everything happens. There's also with Ko and Mangru, we had this little thing that we had to mark run ups together before every match. Otherwise, it was like bad luck. So I guess you can call that a bit of a superstition. But yeah, myself and him would do that before every game.
Hmm. And Karen is also someone who's seen the game for a while. Um, what has it been like for you to have him at the Warriors and also learn from him?
Oh, it's been amazing. He's got to be one of one of the funniest guys I know. He doesn't stop talking, which is great. And you need someone like that in the change room. He's just like the glue in the change room. I think he puts an effort with every single person, no matter where you come from, no matter how old you are. He treats everyone exactly the same and always knows how to make you laugh. But then obviously that wealth of experience that he's got is so crucial for all us youngsters, just to be like a sponge and to listen to what he's got to say. There was a couple moments where um, you would just say, "Oh, relax, like don't overthink too much. It's the wicket's coming." And just there's been so many small things that I can't really put the right words in now, but I've learned so much from him, and he's been unbelievable for the team this year.
Mm, mm. And because as you know, this there'll be clips that I'll create from this. So I will always ask you to make a list and
Mhm.
just give me a list of your all-time fast bowlers, the ones you've always loved.
Um, that first one that comes to mind is definitely got to be Vince van der Bijl, obviously. I mean, he's been my role model. I think it's pretty cool to have him as a great uncle. Two has got to be Brett Lee. 3, Dale Steyn. Um, 4, I'll put KG there. Um, and I've always been a massive fan of Jimmy Anderson and just how he controlled the game and the control that he had over a ball. But that would probably be my not my top 5 like best. I just say that those are the oaks that I've looked up to, um, and who I admire their skill that they've got.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's a pretty good list. And is it the same if you were to bowl with them, or you will have different ideas on potential bowling partners?
Oh, when it's yeah, oaks that I've bowled with, I think there's been so many. But I really enjoyed bowling with Doozy, and Junior. That was actually Junior was really lucky to bowl with. He obviously bought the gears and the fire. He's always got that dog. He's not going to back away. Um, so I'd say those two are probably up there with the oaks that stand out. And got Daisy as well. Dan Gleam has always been he was lucky to bowl with. But yeah, I'd say those three.
Mm. And are you loud in the field? Because people like to trade barbs. A bit of sledging here, a bit of sledging there. Do you
Yeah.
Are you one of those guys who gets into a better space?
I mean, it depends. Not really. I'd say I'll throw the odd chirp, but I'm not going to go into the batter's face and be like, what, and like get all up in his space. I think there's obviously a time and a place for it, but the most important thing is that you're going to shake hands at the end of the game and still be good mates. Obviously, what happens on the field stays on the field, but I wouldn't say it's the biggest part of my game. Every now and then I'll throw in the odd chirp, but it's definitely not something that I need to do to get going. I feel like I'm in the game already from the start, and just if someone's chirping me, doesn't really phase me too much. And if they are irritating me a bit, I'll chuck one or two words. But other than that, I mean, I'm not gonna hassle anyone too much.
Uh, One of the most difficult things about playing cricket now for you guys is you're playing it in a time where everyone has an opinion. It doesn't matter whether they understand the game or not. Everyone
Yeah,
has an opinion, and sometimes it gets to people, sometimes it doesn't. But how do you keep all that noise outside? I know it's not the best way to explain it, but that's often how it is.
yeah,
It's noise from the outside coming in. How do you
100%.
handle that?
So, I mean, as you say, everyone's got an opinion, and everyone has a right to have an opinion. At this stage, I just think everybody puts it on social media, and yeah, you can obviously go through the comments if you want to. There's been a couple instances where I've got some DMs that aren't too friendly, but at the end of the day, I just know that it's some guy that's literally in the middle of nowhere sending you this DM. I mean, it's a little bit sad, honestly. Like why would you go out of your way to go DM someone and tell them how bad they are? If anything, like the support, it would be like like just be like well done and all that sort of stuff. But when someone's down already, I mean, what's the point? So I just laugh at most of that because I'm thinking you got to have quite a sad life to be doing that. Um, and I think that's just the mindset I've had with any all of um, the negative comments and stuff like that. There's no reason to give it any time of day, and the more time of day you give it, the more you're going to be thinking about it, and it's going to affect you even more. So yeah, that one thing that I've done is just laugh it off, and honestly when it happens, it happens. Everybody gets it, and yeah, you're entitled to an opinion. But if it's not going to be in a positive light, I'm not really going to pay too much attention to it. Obviously, I don't mind criticism, but when it gets to a point where it's a bit hectic, yeah, you've lost me at that. So I guess that's just how I am. I'm just gonna blow it off and not think about it too much.
Mm. And what do you like to do outside of the game? How do you switch off? Because sometimes it gets to be too much.
Yeah. Recently I've just finished my degree, so I used to use studying as a way to get away from the game. But I'm a very active person, being big into my paddle at the moment and playing a lot of golf. So those are my two probably escapes. I'm also quite a social person, love spending time with mates. It's been a bit of a challenge moving to PE. Obviously adapting with new mates and obviously studying has kept me quite busy. Used to live in a digs in Pretoria with 11 people, and now I'm living by myself, so adjusting to that as well. But it's been so lucky the last couple of days, been in St. Francis, seeing all of my mates and catching up with them. spending a bit of time with my girlfriend. It's been a really nice time. But yeah, in terms of getting away, playing golf, paddle, those are probably my two go-tos at the moment.
And what was your degree?
So I studied a BCom in accounting and economics, and we are through tuck. So I just used to fly back for my test now when I moved to the Warriors because I still had 6 months left, but I only had two modules to do, so it was quite a chilled year. And yeah, tucks were unbelievable with accommodating me. So I managed to get that done. I graduate in May, so can't wait for that. But yeah, I've managed to pass everything, and just so chuffed to have a degree behind my name now. I can give cricket, not saying that I wasn't, but I can give it all of my focus now, and yeah, really excited to kick on with that.
So, given that you studied becoming accounting, i- is this what would have been your life had you not decided to take on cricket?
100%. I mean, I used to love numbers back at school. So I was a big fan of accounting and maths and economics. I've always been interested in finance. So that was the goals to go into finance and be an investment manager or something like that. I still want to do my CFA and become a financial analyst, but that's later on in the future. Um, yeah, I've always been interested in numbers and stuff like that. So if I didn't have cricket, I'd definitely be studying, probably trying to do my honors in it next year, and then get a job somewhere working in corporates. And yeah, that's probably what I've been working with numbers and people. I think that's what I would have done. But to be honest, I am very happy that I'm playing cricket. It honestly feels like I'm not working. It feels like I'm just living my dream and my passion, and I'm so happy. It's been awesome. I mean, the work days are a little bit different. It's like 10 to or 9:30 to 2. That's our work day, and obviously the dates vary and stuff like that, and that comes with its own challenges. But yeah, so grateful and so happy to be playing cricket. I mean, living quite a few extremes, living my dream, and yeah, it's been really special.
And how hectic is it to because it's it looks all cool and lovely and nice, but then there is the pressure of living out of your suitcase for a bit during the season. You have to go here, you have to go there. How do you handle that?
Yeah, it obviously comes with a lot of challenges, and it is tough. You just got to be able to adapt and go with the flow almost. It makes obviously your relationships quite tough, and you've got to put a bit more extra care. I know with my girlfriend we do long distance. She's based in Stellenbosch, and obviously we fly around the country. So whenever we play in Paarl or Western Province, it's more than ideal. But yeah, you're busy all the time, and it's just something that I've become accustomed to now, and gotten quite used to it. It's at first it was a bit of a shock living out of a suitcase, but once you get into your travel routines and you know how things work and understand the system, it isn't actually too bad. And listen, I'd much rather be on the road playing cricket than stuck in an office the whole day. I think I'm very grateful and yeah, so lucky to have that. But yeah.